Okay, so this is gonna be my little mini part two. I'll probably not be mini because I'm gonna just talk about my cervical cerclagept experience, um, and what I think about what I just discussed. Um, Pretty much, with my cerclage, at 12 weeks, um, before that, I went to a new doctor. I wanted to start fresh. I didn't want to go back to the same place that I went last time because obviously I got no answers. And at this point, I was pregnant again, and I was so scared. I was like, I didn't know what to expect. So I was like, I need to find the best of the best. So, anyways, I went to her and I explained my story to her, and right there, a red flag went up for her. She was like, I want the medical records from the last hospital visit. I want medical records from any, for that pregnancy. I was like, oh, okay. She was like, she found it weird that, that happened to me because I had told her this, exactly what I'm going to tell you. That, my first pregnancy at 12 weeks, I had a little bit of slight bleeding. I mean, in my mind, I thought it was normal, but since it was my first pregnancy, I was like, let me just go to the hospital just to check. It's better to be safe than sorry. So I went to the hospital, and, they did a sonogram, did an ultrasound. They did an ultrasound. And, they found my cervix to be open just a little. And, the ER lady was like, that's why I hate ER doctors. They don't know shit, I swear. Anyways, I'm sorry, but it's true. So anyways, so she was like, oh, it's so, everything's fine. I'm gonna categorize this as, threatened miscarriage or whatever. Threatened miscarriage. And I was like, well, the lady said that my cervix is open just a little. Is that any of a concern? Is that normal? She was like, oh, it's okay. I was like, you sure? I was like, don't, am I gonna need like a cervical supply? And I told her this. I told the doctor that, don't I need a cervical supply? She straight up told me no. So, I was in my first pregnancy, and I was like, all right, she's a doctor. She should know what she's doing. And then when I went to my appointment a couple of weeks later, they checked my cervix or whatever, and she said everything was fine and it was tight and it wasn't open. So, and then guess what? 20 weeks later, at 20 weeks, my water breaks, and turns out it was funneling or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it was funneling or not, but this is what my new specialist had told me. He was like, but you probably were funneling, and then when the water bursts and it breaks, the cervix shuts back up. So maybe, when your water broke and they saw that your cervix was closed, they didn't think of it, which is probably why they didn't think it was an complex cervix. But still, it all goes back to that day I went to the hospital and my cervix was open. Like, hello, come on. So anyways, so my doctor, she sent me to a specialist that, that specializes in fetal medicine and maternal medicine. So I told him, and I go to him, and I tell him my story. He also red flags up. He was like, oh my God, I'm sorry for your loss, blah blah blah. And he does the ultrasound, and guess what? My cervix is open again. So he's like, definitely your cervix is open, and definitely you have an complex cervix, and definitely this is what probably happened the first time. And I was like, okay. And at that point, I finally got to closure. Like, it was a happy day because I knew I was going to save my pregnancy, and it was also a sad day because it could have been prevented, and I was just left like that. Like, I was left untreated, Like, sometimes people cashed in early. I feel like I was caught early, but they didn't care enough to do anything about it. Like, sometimes you wish, oh, you can catch this early, and we can take care of it, blah, blah. Like, I feel like I had all of that, but I didn't have the right people who took the precautions. It's okay. Come here. It's okay. See? It's okay. So, yeah, I didn't have the right people who actually cared enough. So back to my new specialist. You know, he said my cervix is open, and definitely that I should consider the cervical cerclage, and that it'll be the best thing for me in this pregnancy. So I was like, definitely, I'll do whatever to save this pregnancy. You know, I'm down for anything. You know. So go back to the doctor, and you know, she confirms it with the results, and she was like, all right, so we're gonna do the cervical cerclage, and it's gonna be done. I was like super nervous because I was like, oh, it's gonna hurt. You know, so she explained everything to me, and too much saliva. Oh, Papa, it's okay. There you go. Let's pull it down, okay? Okay. So yeah, so she explained the cervical cerclage, and I did it. The procedure wasn't that bad. You know, I went in, they gave me a spinal. The preparation was like half an hour, but the procedure was like 5 minutes, and it was done. I stood there for a couple of hours until the spinal wore off, and I could be able to walk and pee. And I went home, and that's it. I mean, I was on bed rest for 2 weeks. Then after that, she said I can resume my normal activities, just not too much, you know, not too extreme. No sex, no nothing, no exercise or anything like that. Um, so yeah, and I went on, and at 37 weeks, she took out the cerclage, and I thought I was gonna have the baby that weekend, but I didn't. He went in, he stood in me for a whole extra week, so they induced me at 38 weeks. So yeah, cerclage is a big lifesaver, and I would recommend it for anybody. I mean, there are risks, but the earlier the better. I think the risk, you know, if she did give me antibiotics in case, you know, I got an infection, because you know it's an how do they say it? It's a foreign object in your body, so you may get infection. So she gave me you know, antibiotics to take for 2 weeks. I did, but the antibiotics give you a yeast infection, and when you're pregnant, you're prone to yeast infections. So I got that along with my cerclage, and but you know, the infection didn't do anything to cerclage. Throughout the whole pregnancy, my cervix didn't open, my cervix didn't shorten, the cerclage never moved. Um, my my tissue never grew over it, because that was my big fear, because I was researching it, and I was reading like horrible stories about cerclages, about how this, you know, the tissue grows around it and whatever, taking it out was like a horrible pain. I was like so terrified. So when they took it out, I was anxiety. Like I had the video up on my YouTube. You can check it out when they took out my cerclage. Yeah, I was just terrified, but for nothing, because it didn't even hurt. I felt stupid, but whatever. How was I supposed to know? It was my first time having it. But yeah, I think it's a lifesaver. I mean, he's proof. You see, he's proof. It's awesome. If you have any questions or any concerns, or you know, you want to know more about the different types of cerclages, I had the McDonald done on me. Just other different kind of this 3. If you guys want to know about that, please let me know. I'll do another video about that. I hope this, you know, helps out a lot of people. I hope this, you know, brings a lot of closure to a lot of people. Again, you know, thank you for watching, and I hope this helps out a lot. I hope this video helps out a lot of people. So thank you.